Hello friends, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, please subscribe if you want. I truly appreciate it. Today I have 3 stories for you from subreddit r/entitledparents. So sit back, relax, unwind, and enjoy. All 3 of these stories are not only entitled parent stories, but they are entitled sisters. First story is posted by user chaoticnature32. Entitled Mommy, my kids and I are moving into your house, and as a compromise, I'm gonna let you live there too. I'm a 32-year-old woman and I just bought my first house. It has 3 bedrooms, a yard, and is just what I need right now. I'm single and have 2 dogs and a cat. My sister is 34, has 3 children, and lives in a 2-bedroom apartment. Lately, she's been talking about how such a tiny living space is not enough for the 4 of them. When she got to know about the house I had bought, she became very upset and told me I was being wasteful as I'm single and don't have kids and therefore don't need such a big space. I reminded her that what I do with my hard-earned money is none of her business. She went on to complain to our mother about how selfish I was being. Yesterday evening, I got a call from my mom telling me I should let my sister and her kids move into the house. My house. I told her that no one was going to live in the house that I paid for but me, and that the extra space would be great for my dogs to play in. My mom also got very upset with me and told me I was being unreasonable. That my sister's kids are growing and need the space more than my dogs. I offered to help my sister out financially so she could rent a bigger place. My mom got my sister on the phone, who shot down the idea, telling me I needed to let her and her kids live in my house. When I refused again, she very generously suggested a compromise. I could live in the house with her and her kids and would not have to find somewhere else to live. She said this as if she was doing me a favor. I told her she had lost her mind and hung up. However, my mom and sister kept pestering me, with my mom trying to guilt trip me by telling me that my sister had been crying over not being able to live in a nice house like mine. I got fed up and decided to shame them. I made a post on aita about this, and of course, most of the commenters could hardly believe how entitled my mom and sister are. They got bashed pretty badly. After getting the verdict from aita, I decided to send my sister and mom a link to the post, letting them know that I had made it. As expected, they freaked the F out. My mom texted and called many times telling me what a horrible daughter I am, and how I've embarrassed her in front of so many people. I told her to calm down, as these are all strangers on the internet who have no idea who she is. But asking my mom to listen to reason is like asking my cat to stop shoving things off of a horizontal surface. So I told her I'd talk to her when she's willing to act like an adult. My sister has been crying about this to my mom and any other relative who will listen. Most of them won't. They had been on my side from the start and had agreed that my sister's demands were ridiculous. They think this whole thing is hilarious. I too think that whole thing is ridiculous and hilarious. It's not her problem that her sister decided to have 3 kids when not financially stable. The only thing worse than having to deal with an entitled mom is when the entitled mom is your sister, because you literally can't get away from that, and I feel so bad for OP. Hopefully OP's sister snaps out of it and realizes how ridiculous her demands are, but I doubt it. Let's go on over to story number 2, posted by user Nanda Marks. Sister wants trust funds to be given to her kids because she is a single mother. My parents died when my siblings and I were very young. Their estate was divided equally into 3 separate trusts for our education. Anything left over after graduating would be paid out when we turned 25. I watched my siblings squander theirs by failing out of college, renting needlessly expensive apartments, and getting pregnant twice. While they're doing alright now, neither had anything left in their trust by their 25th birthdays. I applied for multiple scholarships, lived with roommates, and worked through school. Even with my master's degree, I still have more than half my trust left. I turned 25 recently and have been planning to buy a house. I mentioned this to my brother, who was surprised to learn I had enough money left to do so. My sister was more than surprised. She was furious and called me to rant about the unfairness of it all. She felt cheated that her baby sister might buy a house before she did because she needed it more as a single mom. I guess I threw fuel on the fire by reminding her that we had the same opportunities but made different choices. Somehow that turned into me looking down on her kids and hating my nephews. Since then, she has roused the rest of the family against me. I owe her and my brother financial help because apparently that's what our parents would have wanted. I blocked my sister's number after she demanded I give the rest of my trust to her kids, the grandchildren our parents would have wanted. I told her it was laughable to consider that our parents would be happy about their daughter getting pregnant at 20 and dropping out of school. She called me a B word. Everything is falling apart now. I feel hunted. Aw, poor OP. I too am frugal and good with my money, and I try to stick by the rule nor a lender or a borrower be, because it usually only causes problems. OP needs to stick with their guns and not give out money because her siblings decided to be bad with it. It's already sad enough that they got this trust from their parents passing away and now their siblings are demanding. If I were OP, I would just not talk to my siblings for a while, honestly. Let's go on over to story number 3, posted by user Paperweight Fairy. My family is pressuring me to give my sister my wedding venue because she needs it more and is pregnant. My fiance and I have been together for 8 years and engaged for 3. I was doing my PhD program and was juggling planning the wedding. My fiance took much of that work, but it was perfect because our dream venue was booked for after my graduation. So what we did is book our dream venue 3 years in advance. It is really a beautiful venue. The only slot we got was September of this year. My sister got engaged a few months ago to her fiance. They were planning on having a spring wedding next year. They had no venue lined up, but had a few vendors lined up as well as a set date. Yesterday, our parents invited us and our significant others to a family barbecue, where my sister announced to our extended family that she is expecting. Everyone was so happy for her and my brother-in-law, who is a great guy. My nan asked my sister if the wedding was still on the set date or if they were going to wait because of the baby. She said no, that she hoped to move it to September. No big deal. We don't have many out-of-town guests, so they could attend both weddings no problem. Nan was happy and asked her if she needed help planning such a short notice wedding. My sister then turns around and said, "That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I was really hoping we could take your venue. I really cannot stress myself too much with planning a wedding while going to maternity classes. And I think it's so beautiful. It would really mean a lot to me." It went silent, but everyone was looking at me expecting to say, "Yes, of course, everything for my little sister." My brother-in-law looked very uncomfortable and told her that they had talked about this and that it was not okay to put me on the spot. But my sister just said, "Don't be like that. My sister wants to do what's best for me, so it's no big deal, right?" I just said, "Well, it kind of is. I don't know. I have my heart really set on the venue." Cue the crying. She stormed off. Nan told me that I was being selfish because she needed the venue more than I did. I tried to defend myself and my mother said, "You waited 3 years. Would it have killed you to wait a few more months? When has your sister ever asked you for something?" A few comments later, my fiance got really mad and we left. My sister called me crying and said that it was unfair that I always get what I want, and that I could have done this one thing for her. Dad said it was just a venue, and what matters is the person who you are marrying. He is kind of right, but we've been planning for so long. My fiance is furious with my family and doesn't even want my sister to come. Now my family is threatening not to come because I'm being selfish, and my sister needs it more than me because having a baby is too stressful. Oh my gosh, this story is so stupid. It makes me so mad. OP picked her dream venue 3 years in advance. It's not her frickin' problem that her sister went and got pregnant. It's so dumb to me that people think the world automatically revolves around them and stops simultaneously when they become pregnant. Hate to break it to you, being pregnant doesn't make you any more important than anyone else, in my opinion. But on that note, I will end this. I hope you enjoyed these 3 entitled sister/parent stories. If you did, please like and subscribe. I truly appreciate and love when you do. And I will see you in the next Reddit story. Bye!